I got some Dolphins news for you today. Starting off with an ugly one. Vontae Davis found dead, 35. That's so young. I remember us drafting him, and I thought the kid was a nice kid. Issues, obviously, hated the Hard Knocks thing where he got traded on Hard Knocks, and he's like, I got to call my grandma. He grew up real hard, lots of drugs in the household. I know what that's like. It's terrible. Seemed like a sensitive kid, good kid, and I remember him quitting with Bills, and it just seems so long ago. But it's only been 5 years or so. Now found dead. They say there's no evidence of foul play. Just found dead. Who knows? But what a sad, sad ending. What an early ending. Kid worked so hard to get out of a dark situation, a real troubled past. Made it to the NFL. Played really well for a few seasons. He was a real heroic rise for this kid's destiny. Shame it ends like that. So I want to start with that because that's the most real. The rest of the stuff here is more important for football, but not really for life. Next, I kind of knew we weren't going to get Van Ginkel back. I knew Wilkinson and Hunt was gone. I'm still waiting. I didn't think we were going to get Connor back. We're still waiting to see on that. And then people are talking about why is a delay with Tua and his contract. Is he going to play hardball? Is there something going on? They're going to ride into the fifth-year option. Who knows? We got to wait till the Xavier Howard money comes in. And then after that, we can kind of start making some guesstimations. Right now, it's way too early. I don't think it's really much of a story, but I'm hearing a lot of it, so I just wanted to cover that. Keita Kohu earned the 5th highest salary bonus for his number of snaps. The kid gets a lot of junk last year, and I don't think he deserved it. It's clear what his strengths are. It's clear what his weaknesses are, and he was put into positions, and it's not Fangio's fault. It's just they needed him to do this, and this is how they ran it. And as we dialed up the blitzes, he went more and more to man, and that's not really his strength when it gets to mid and late clock. So good for the kid. He's a good player. I like to see him really do well this year, and so he makes his money whether it's here or someplace else. I think the kid can play definitely, but good for the kid. Great undrafted free agent for us. So let's see how that plays out. Baker landed a deal with the Seahawks for 1 year, $7 million. He has his flaws and he has his strengths. If he gets put in the right position, the kid can play. Surprised he only got 1 year, $7 million. It's not the money per year. Maybe he wanted that to kind of prove a deal. I think the kid could definitely play if you just let him blitz, let him dog, chasing the back and forth and blitz. That's his strengths. His cover, his reads and all that have gotten a little bit better. So that's where Baker went. Glad we moved on. In some ways, like to see more out of him. We missed on Wagner. We got him as like a backdrop and kind of maybe stuck with him a little bit too long. We could have had Wagner. We just traded up a little bit. Anyway, so that's basically it. I'm going to get into the best player available concept that people are screaming about. And, I understand it, but, it's weird. And I'll get into that a little bit. McD, people are, McD struggled in the red zone. He's had his flaws. I want to cover McD. I'm not a huge McD fan. There's things about his character I like, things I don't. Things about his head coaching I like, things I don't. But we got to really take in context. I'm going to cover that. The receiver and tackle. The more I keep looking in his draft, it is so interesting. You've got two tracks of vast talent. And I'm thinking the tackle talent might be even deeper than the receiver talent. That's hard to say. But these two tracks, whatever you choose as a franchise, you're going to get a really good player, more than likely. But it's going to say about some teams, if they choose this one and it ends up they might have taken this one, it's going to define some franchise. I want to get into that as well. And then the new kickoff rules. I'm not the hottest guy on Greer or the whole situation, direction we're heading. I'm not saying I think there's holes in it. In fact, I got a lot of concerns. But the NFL is so weird. Things pop up. Things change. few plays here or there makes the season go this way or that way. And this new kick return rule is one of these unknowns. We don't know how it's going to play out. And when you look at our talent and depth at that style of talent, and you put it into these kick returns the way they look, it could be a big pivotal thing for the Dolphins to take them to the right direction, even if certain other things aren't going maybe the way some of us would like. So I'm going to cover that. So anyway, doing the live again, getting a little bit more comfortable and better at it. I got a surprise guest, a real pro in Dolphins coverage, going to be on the show this week. Very generous to come on the little guy show. Big guys coming on the little guy show. So come check me out at 10 p.m. Eastern time this Friday and see the surprise guest. And you're like, why don't you say who it is? Because my show is small and his show is big, and I don't want to be parlaying my channel off him coming on here. I don't know. I feel weird about that. I don't like really doing the whole selling myself thing, which is stupid because that's what this is about. But it just, come check it out. And then when he's on, and maybe I'll promote it that way. But I don't know. I just feel weird about it. But I still could do this, and I'm learning how to do it now. So keep it going. Guys, the likes, the subscribes, the comments, the views, all that stuff keeps this channel in business. I need it. I gotta kind of ask you to go sub. And if you haven't subbed, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, add comments. That's how it happens. So I appreciate all you guys do. And if you can, keep that up. I want to give you a shout out and a shout out to Ace per Head. I hate salesmen. Because without the two of you, this show ain't going down. Ace per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, so best player available. Everybody wants the best player available. I mean, we always want to get the best. I mean, who doesn't? Now, I'd like to take the second guy. The guy's not as good. But you got to understand, it's a team game. And so let's say this year, if it's all best player available, you grab best player available because it's a receiver. Now, you got Waddle, Hill, and best player available. What happens next year if you pick and the best player available is a receiver? You grab 4. At a certain point, you say, all right, look, I got to grab the guy that I need. This guy's better, but, hey, I need this player. He might not be as talented, but we need this to win. It's not about stacking talent. I mean, if all the talent drives you to victories, then best player available is awesome. But it can't always be about best player available. And if you're living on best player available and you take a receiver this year, then next year you probably can't go best player available if receiver talent falls to you. So at some point you get off the best player available train, and maybe the best player available is the guy you need to drive your scheme to get the victories, and maybe that's receiver. But maybe that's, maybe the receiver talent might be here and the tackle talent might be here, or another player. But whatever it is, the goal is to win games, not post big stats, not have a rotisserie team. We saw with the Eagles with Chip Kelly a few years ago. It didn't do anything. And I'm not saying the receiver is not the guy for that, but, I mean, we got holes that need to be filled. And when you look at the tackle and the receiver spot, it's so deep. I was looking at the guy, J.C. Latham. That's his name, J.C. Latham. And, I thought he was a little too big for us, 6'6", 342. I think he's too big to go at the guard position. I watched him. I'm not sure if he has the bend to get down there and get into that spot. But still, I mean, guys, Tehran is going to be gone sooner rather than later. And, a guy like Latham is a mover, not as strong as you would think at that size, but he's kind of young. He's going to get stronger. But he would move guys. He would be a depth player behind Jackson, behind Tehran, and maybe you can get him into that guard spot, 6'6", 342. And he's going to be lurking there maybe. I mean, maybe they take him early, and there's other guys going to be sitting back out over there. There's a lot of good tackles, and you got this quarterback class. So you got the 2 tracks of tackle and receiver, and then you got this big quarterback class that could even push these talent even deeper. I mean, you see like 4, 5, 6 quarterbacks kind of on the, a lot of guys saying, hey, this team might take that quarterback in the top 20 picks. And when you got all these receivers and you have all these tackles, it could put that talent pool right here, and maybe the tackles here, and the receivers here. Do you grab that tackle? And I don't know. It's hard to say. I would like to take the tackle because my philosophy is like Harbaugh. I've done a thing on that. I'll get into that a little bit later. I'm not in the Greer philosophy of heavy skills and light on the offensive line. But we got to see how that plays out. Maybe that is the future. Maybe that's the right road. But then you got guys, you could see a run on quarterbacks. You could see a run on tackles. You could see a run on receivers. And then maybe Brock Bowers falls to you somehow. I don't think so. But you have all these real, even talented edge players. Byron Murphy II. This guy looked like he could, be at least Aaron Donald light. And then Chop Robinson. There's Zahan Newton. There's so many good players. And I think the Dolphins are going to be sitting in a catbird seat in some way to pick a high-end talent. But what we do, considering we had these, you got some good edge players available maybe for you, and you got Chubb and Phillips. You grab that, and you got three of these guys, or you grab the receiver, but you don't really know what it's all going to amount to as a team until the season plays out. To some guys, they stay healthy, they get injured. It's not going to be known for 2 years because, again, that receiver might not let us win this year, but next year we can move off Hill or Waddle, and all of a sudden you get extra ammo, and then you got those picks, and we don't know. It's a 2-year window now. I'm not too happy with Greer in a lot of ways, and all the ways I kind of am, but it's a 2-year window. He's not going anywhere, at least to the end of the 2025 season. So let's see how it plays out. I think this draft's going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting drafts for so many reasons. For us Dolphins, I think it's going to create a fork in the road. I'm really interested to see how that plays out. Now, McDaniel, people keep talking about, hey, he made a mistake here. He's not getting – look, you got to see things in context. He was in the booth. He was a run game coordinator who was pulled to the Dolphins. They said, come on, be our head coach and call and win now. That's a lot of growth period. Flores, who I like, some people don't, I like, but he came here, he was kind of the head coach and had other guys working out, and he didn't have to win year one. And then he had Gailey come in year two to help take care of his weakness, and it's a lot easier to kind of mature through that stream than come in, win now. I think that McDaniel needs to get a little bit of a mulligan. I think first year, clear mulligan. Last year, a little bit of a mulligan. This year is the year to evaluate McDaniel. He's been here 3 years now. He's marinated in this system. They've brought loads of players that I don't think he tells what to get. So people are like, he's not making the calls. I'm sure he has influence, but Greer's in charge along with all the crew around him. So let's see how it plays out in his third season. It wasn't easy having a poor offensive line year one, a fairly okay offensive line, but loads of injuries to make it poor year two. This is the year to give the guy his grade. Maybe a little blip here or there as far as a mulligan, maybe here or there, but this is the first year you should give him his full evaluation. He's experienced. He's been to the postseason twice. So let's not worry about the past so much, and let's eval the whole thing as we go forward. Now, last point, Hill, Achane, maybe is worthy if we draft him. Mostert, there are guys, Waddle. You've got a host of speedsters, a host of guys who can make people miss, take it the distance, and now you got this new return game. Who knows how it's going to play out? Blockers, you might find some guy on your team. He's just a good little blocker, and he pops a couple of these, and your speedster blows it open. But when you got Hill, Waddle, Mostert, Achane, and maybe some other guy, you've got a whole crew to attack this new kick return policy. Maybe it goes nowhere, but maybe you break a couple of these open and you put a few big plays on to get you that will help you get the touchdown or get a couple of touchdowns along the way. And that, just a handful of touchdowns could take you from here to there to go to that maybe 12 or 13 wins or win that big game that puts you in the AFC East. There's nobody right now in the AFC East that has the kind of talent we have to take advantages. Now, it's going to come down to blocking, but the speed, one mistake to get to the edge and take it a distance, and the unknown attached to it. All these special teams coordinators, they don't know what to make of this. They have no clue. And this could actually give us some early pop runs, pop plays to get us on track. I think it's really exciting. I don't know what it's going to amount to. But man, don't we have the talent to take advantage of it? And it could be special enough to give us finally the special season. You need a lot more than just that. But if you looked at last year, there were a few plays here or there that could have gave us maybe 1, 2, 3 more wins. So it will be very interesting to see Hill, Waddle, HN, Mostert, and maybe somebody else. I don't know. I think it's very interesting. I'm really looking forward to this. Somebody had a great comment. I wish I knew who it was. I can't remember now. But he said, with this new kick rule, what happens on a squib kick? You know, what happens with that? I don't know. I'm very excited. I love strategy. I love tactics. And this does add a huge element of the unknown. Hopefully we can take care of it, guys. So anyway, come check me again Friday at 10 p.m. Got a real cover guy, not a monkey like me. You'll enjoy. You can ask all your questions. We'll get up there and take care of that. I got some more stuff coming from you for you. I'm still going over these players that we got, and there's a lot of guys that we got. I just want to be thorough before I put my foot in the ground. Offensive line's very easy for me. You can see strong traits and like, oh, okay, I know what this guy is and I know what that guy is. But in the other positions, the defense, the guys in front of them, and as Edward Harbaugh said that the offensive line, they don't depend on anybody. And so makes it a lot easier to evaluate guys on the offensive line. But as you get to that second level, there's a lot of contact. So I'm going to have some stuff for you soon. I just want to do my best, and I don't want to make a monkey myself because I do that normally. Anyway, Curtis says, catch you next time. Be well. Go Fins. Building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.